What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video, we got our
best beginner's guide
for the brand new global launch Cold Steel Northern War. Like and sub for more amazing gaming content. We also got a coupon code that was recently just released a few hours ago. We're gonna click on our avatar in the top left corner and we have redemption code right here. All right, here's the code. It's a bit of a weird one, I know. 000B77F4016E. We'll go ahead, click exchange, see what we get. Successful, sent to our mailbox. Let's check our mailbox and see exactly what it gave us. Click on this. All right, we got a summoning ticket. Ooh, we got an attribute summoning ticket as well. Very good, because we're going to go over that in this video because it's an important thing to talk about with the gacha system going on. Ideally, you want to try and build out like a mono team first or have a lot of the same attributes because you're going to get those attribute bonuses the more characters you have from the same attribute. As far as the space attributes and the time attributes, the best way to look at it is like space is your light attribute and the time is kind of like your dark attribute. If you're familiar with any other type of gacha game that's very heavily on elements, then you'll kind of understand it. Space attribute heroes are kind of like the wild heroes. They pretty much just go ahead and they're going to get the team buffs as well. The only real odd man out is going to be the time attribute heroes. They're not considered to be like wild cards. The time attribute characters will only provide those team effect buffs to other time attributes. So for this instance, we have one time attribute, so he's getting defense plus 30%. The other characters are not because they're not time. All 5 of my characters were time attributes, then I'd be getting the full 5 bonus of all of these. And you can see they're pretty ridiculous once you have a full 5 team. Hero speed is going to be plus 15, crit damage increase, crit rate. When attacked, you're gaining craft points as well as increasing your defense. But time heroes are really hard to get, as well as space attribute heroes. These are like the 2 rarest attributes to get. So anytime you get one of these, you should definitely be building them out because they're extremely strong. Now, early on for like pre-registration and like free rewards, the game gives you a lot of wind attribute characters. So it's really easy to build out like an all winds team at the beginning. However, the Earth attribute has some of the strongest characters in this game. We head on over to our gacha system. For this specific banner, this is the attribute gacha, and this rotates between the different attributes. The one that I personally suggest you save up your tickets for and summon on is the Earth one. So right now you can summon for Earth heroes only. So this would be a great time to use those gacha tickets on this. If we go to the top right corner, it says update now, and we can kind of see the list that it goes through. We have Earth right now, then it'll go to water, then it'll go to fire, and then wind. Now you can go ahead and you can use 500 of your gems to instantly choose one. If you don't want to summon on the current one, however, I suggest you don't waste your 500 gems. It's really not worth it. Just wait a couple days until the Earth one comes around. There is one exclusive banner right here that's only available for 5 days. And this you can only use your gems on, so you can't use any tickets at all. I know a lot of people are gonna be susceptible to coming in here and just blowing all their gems, and it's okay, it's not like a huge big deal. You can actually advance your VIP without spending any money in this game. You can use your free gems. This is what I've been doing, and I got my VIP up to a 3 currently, so I'm getting all of this like extra stuff, like extra passive rewards of plus 5% for different things. All you're gonna do is go over to where it says grade up right here. Click this. Every day you're gonna be able to do 5 exchanges for those free gems. These other ones, these are the paid gems. But for someone like me who's free to play, I come in here every day, I do 5 exchanges, and it just helps me level up my VIP without spending money. So always make sure you at least have like 500 gems every day to level this up, because this is the most important. Now, right now, you can go ahead and reset or revert your characters for free without wasting any gems, but it is limited. If we click on one of our characters and go to the bottom where it says revert, this will go ahead and completely reset our characters back to level 1, and we'll get all of the materials we invested in them back, and it isn't going to cost us anything. This is limited though. If we take a look right behind me, it says beginner free revert remaining. We got 4 days and 21 hours. So as a new player, take advantage of this. Experiment with your different characters. Don't be afraid to invest in those beginner characters that you have that the game gives you for free. Just invest in all of them so that way you can progress faster in the game and through the story to unlock all the additional content. And then once you start to unlock new characters, then just go ahead, revert those bad characters that you have, and then start investing in the new ones that you got. So we're at the beginning of a battle right before we actually click start. And a really important thing that you need to master is going to be the targeting system. So I really like that this game has it. In this top right corner under our heroes, we click this target, and this is going to let us determine which enemies our specific characters are going to attack first. And this is a very, very important part of the game because you want to take out certain enemies first, specifically like backline who might be support characters, like a healer or someone who's going to be like buffing the other team. You don't want to have your team constantly attacking the enemies like tanks who have a lot of health and a lot of defense while their damage dealers are just sitting in the back, or their healers or whatever, and they're just wreaking havoc on your team. So if you have someone who's like a really high damage dealer and you want them to take out like a backliner first, all you're going to do is like grab someone from the back line. You're going to drag their little icon, click on it, and then go to whatever character you want them to attack. So for instance, I have one of my big damage dealers right here, and I would just drag this icon, drop it right there. And now when this battle starts, he immediately is going to target that one instead of attacking their front line. We'll go ahead and I'll do another one. I'll drag this back row and I'll go here. And then even for like my tanks, let's say I want to have my tanks just immediately go to their back line. I could do something like that, and then I can go like that. So now pretty much everyone is going to attack their back line and they're not going to attack the front line. But let's go ahead. We're going to click confirm and watch what happens. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to start this. We're going to turn auto on. I'm going to leave it at a 1-time speed, but you can see everyone is immediately just going towards those specific characters. We're not attacking their front line. We're taking out their damage dealers or whoever they have in their back line. And now we're going ahead and finishing off their tanks, their front line, which typically isn't going to be able to put out a lot of damage. And you can see that pretty much our entire team is still alive except for one character did get destroyed. We're going to go ahead. We're going to pop this heal spell right now, or heal ability, I should say. But we got, this is light work right here. These guys aren't going to do too much damage, these frontliners. We got our special ability going right there, and that's it. Very, very handy and useful. Early game, you don't need to like mess around with it too much. But once you get to those harder levels where the enemies are really strong, learning how to use the target mechanic can be a huge difference between winning and losing. Now, the way the rarity system works in this game is a little bit weird. You have to kind of explain the way it works. We have our R heroes at the bottom, and they just kind of become an R. They don't increase their rarity, but you can have them like maxed out level 100. But if we go to an SR hero, and that is someone who's like a base SR hero. So what I mean is, like, as soon as you summon them, they are already an SR hero. If we click on one of these, their max rarity can be a UR plus, and they can go up to level 160. Base SSR hero, we pull them straight from the gacha. They're already an SSR. They can go up to what's called a SU. I don't know what letter this is. I don't know if this is an L and it's cut off by the stars, but this is an SU rarity, and they can go up to level 360. So, I mean, the difference between that, 160 to 360, it's a huge difference from pulling a base SR hero to pulling a base SSR hero. So very important to keep that in mind. The base SSR heroes, they're always going to be stronger. For the arena house, we have a bunch of different characters we can choose from. We've got some characters that cost 250,000 of this specific currency, and then we got a bunch of others that are only 150k. I'm going to give you some of my personal best options to choose from each different category. This character right here is going to be absolutely an insane tank. Now, the ones that cost 250k, they are the rare attribute characters. So this one right here, this is a space character. So they're that wild status when it comes to the team effects. So they pretty much will always get like one of those bonuses based on your team comp. This one right here, this is a time. The other one is a time, and then this one is also a space. So you get 2 spaces and 2 times. But this character, I highly recommend if you want to save up to 250k. This passive ability is ridiculous. Every second in battle, their max HP just increases by 2% up to 60%. So they just become stronger and more tankier the battle goes on. Then if you want a time attribute character, this one is also 250. This is going to be Kavin Kavin. But more importantly, what I love is his normal attacks steal a percentage of the enemy's current HP and their shield. So he just rips apart shield. As far as the 150k heroes that I recommend, this one right here, really strong ranger who can manipulate the battlefield. Steals a percentage of their attack. But more importantly, this is the best one, the Bobcat. Deals damage to the enemy, but it removes them from the battlefield for 7 seconds. So imagine the enemy's strongest character, their healer, their support character who's really strong. You're able to just remove them from the battle for 7 seconds, which can completely change the tide of the battle. Another 150k hero to check out is going to be this guy right here. He is a really strong buffer. He goes ahead and he marks the enemies and they take additional damage. Recommend this is going to be Rufus, a warrior that just does really good continuous damage. But this Soul Slicer ability right here, if the skill is fully released, the cooldown time of the skill Arc Blade will be refreshed. So you're able to go ahead and refresh this and use this constantly. Causes 100% attack power damage to 4 enemies. If the skill is fully released, the cooldown time of Soul Explosion will be refreshed. So these kind of go hand in hand where they're constantly like refreshing each other and you're able to pull off really strong combos. And then another one that's really strong for boss battles, it's going to be Estelle Bright. And she has an ability, the 100 blows. It attaches a flame seed to the enemy in the front row and it deals damage equal to 1% of their max HP per second. This is really good for raids when you're going up against those raid bosses that have a ton of health. That is it. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. Stay happy, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.